Kyllä juuri näin.
Moi, j'étais plus en tête, on peut dire rien.
Ja nyt kannattaa yleisönnä alkaa pyrkiä sieltä suupielistä ja suunnata sitten parhaille katsoja paikalle. Sillä kello on jo 15.32 kuluttua ja 8 minuuttia ja sitten me mukava nähdä myöskin kansainvälisesti aivan välillä. Joo, siellä.
Kyllä Jere Kajusen viimeistä yleisuvista teemme tuli Jerelle ja tuhansille muille katselijoille terveys. Kyllä. It seems that you're having fun out there.
Ja tosiaan käytännössä tuo yleispakkaus on vaikka tuonne sen nousuun. Kyllä seinän nousu siellä on vissiin mukava bileet käynnissä tässä eilen ja tänään ja TJ Serutarjalle näitä seurataan ryhmiä sitten myös ihan miettikään, että mikä siihen on tanssissa. Sitten sitten otetaan Springille myöskin nämä meidän tämän päivän lähtökohtaisesti sovivat hiukassa sekuntikamppailussa nosti aivan viimeisillä 100 metriä. Ja 65. Ja 324. Ja Vanskapin kokonaiskilpailulta lähtien kakkosmies meni Chakään sitten matkaan numero 6 tänään. Sen kanssa, että Chakrinilla on ollut 2 tuntia edellisesti viikkoa. Kyllä, juurikin näin. Simon eilen 0 aamulla pikakisassa ja todella nopea ampuja. Lähtenyt 10 eilen Gleisser sitten numero 12 myöskin kokenut saksalainen. Eilen on nollat ja kääntynyt muuta aikaa. Kyllä, kyllähän se aika ei puolisi pitää ei nyt liikaa omita, mutta pikkasen kootiin katsomaan. Eihän ole keskisijoituksia paukkuu monta kertaa. Vielä se toinen paikka odottelee, mutta kyllähän se on sieltä. We have a bit more than 5 minutes to start off the men's first aid competition. With big number 1 we have Kontiolahti Sweden, 6 meters round, 6 split round, 7 meters round, 8 meters
Kyllä, edelleen näyttää ilmalaisuudellakin niin yltä ja ne on siellä reilusti 8 yhdessä ilman hitaamia helekkiä.
Alkupuolella täällä Kontiolahdella on. Enää 4 minuuttia lähtenyt. It's 4 minutes and then we go. sillä mittarilla katsottuna ylivoimaisin 18 sekunnin pois. No, tämä ollaan, tai sitä on paljon voinut ampumateen kanssa suoritettu parantaa. Ja tähän kilpailuun Kontiolahti lähtee kantaen tuota keltaista ja punaista numeroliiviä. Tuo keltainen liivi tarkoittaa sitä, että hän on kokonaismaailmankapkilpailun kärjessä ja punainen väri siinä liivissä tarkoittaa sitä, että hän ottaa myöskin sitä takaa ja kappi. Metreiksi muutettuna Tervo Seppälä lähtee 265 metriä nopeapaikan perään. Ja jos ajatellaan sitä, että takkakerrosta 150 metriä siinä seuraavana tulee sitten määräpaikalle kantaina numero 4 Kontiolahti. Siinä numero 6 ja niissä Bränäänkin tuossa jonossa. Kaikki muutkin 60 kilpailijaa. Toinen toistaan kovempaa ampumahiihtäjää lähtee kamppailemaan maailmancuppisteistä. Tämän Kontiolahden maailmancupin voitosta miesten taka-ajokilpailu. 1.5 minutes to the start of the men's 12.5 kilometer pursuit competition with the
So welcome, and Fionn Maillet about to get underway, leading out in the 12.5 kilometre pursuit here, the last day of racing in Kontiolahti. He's got 2 seconds, he'll be breaking free, and the rest of the world will be chasing him. 4 victories this season, 116th place in this competition. He really is the man to beat. The intense interest in him after the Olympic Games with his 5 medals. It was a lot of pressure. He came to this venue a little late, so he's found his form yesterday. Looked a little off form for the relay competition. Philip Fjeld Andersen, one of his best ever performances. He'll feel confident. He's only had a 50th, a 26th and an 18th, and then the pack start behind him. Johannes Kuhne, Sivert Guttormbakken, Samuelsson is there, Jacqueline and Norath just breaking free in bib number 7. Lukas Hofer. He needs to hit 19 or 20. Hofer, bib number 8. Pepe Femling, he shot perfect yesterday. Needs the same today. Doesn't quite ski as fast as the rest. Simon Eder, Giganat, Eric Lesser. Can Eric bring his vast experience to this game, hitting 20 today? And then it's thick and fast with Formolino, Leitner, Stolder, Iliev, Detieu, and Seppala. There's Seppala, the Finnish fans' favourite. That's a mouthful. And further back is Kretschmar, Roman Rees, and Ponsiluoma. Out on the track and down the first descent. So it was an 18-second lead out. We'll get a chance to pick up on in a few seconds' time, actually, to see if Philip Fjeld Andersen on that easy part of the track has managed to close down. I very much doubt it. Well, I think for me he looked a little off his best, even yesterday, taking the victory. So I think I would just take this first one within a comfort zone and get the 5 targets down, then really start my race for real.
The people who are chasing make the mistakes. Phil-Maillet will enjoy the fact that he can give himself, an extra 5 or 6 seconds preparation for that first shoot. And if he gets through the prone phases unscathed, then, he's a tough man to beat. His standing shooting's been absolutely brilliant this year.
That's been a strength, hasn't it? And to take 4 out of 5 wins in this event, not many have done it before. Biathlon has, and of course the great Martin Fourcade has. But if he wins today, he'll be up there with the best. It takes a lot of focus and discipline to win a pursuit competition, and even from a lead out.
Simoneda, some way off the mark at 43. We saw some big gains in the Olympics. Simon Detieux went from 24 to 7, so he's a man worth watching. He's in 17th at the moment. But Felix Leitner, 46th to 10th. That was an unbelievable run from the Austrian athlete. So I'm keen to see how he does today.
Yes, he looked a little tired yesterday, but he definitely is one of these athletes who love the chase and love being involved in a mass start as well. That's where Leitner has had some of his better results.
6 wins already this season for Phil-Maillet. I think with that victory yesterday, Mike, he pretty much cemented the overall, theoretically it's possible for him to be overtaken by Jacquelin, but no real concerns. I know in the relay we thought he was looking a little bit tired, but yesterday he looked back to his normal sharp self.
And look at this, he looked quite easy into the base of the climb, and for me he's one of the best climbers in biathlon. The strength, I suppose, strength to weight ratio, he's got that advantage, and that's just so stable and easy coming up this hill.
Interesting position. Just wondering how Philip Feld Andersen's feeling. He's chasing obviously Phil-Maillet, but he's got a hungry group behind him.
And yes, he started strong. He held the 18 seconds from the start to 18, and now he's losing up this climb when Phil-Maillet decided to just up the pace.
Jacquelin in 5, Samuelson 6, 34 seconds. It's a decent margin. Quite impressed with Lucas Hofer. It looked as though he'd wound the clock back 10 years yesterday. Looked really light on his skis. He's gone through in 8th, just ahead of Femling, and Eric Lesser coming towards the end of his career. So many big names retiring from biathlon and cross country.
It'll be a real shame, I think, for biathlon. He's such a good figure to have around. He is the best German in the pursuit event as well, and often this has been Eric's strongest card when it comes to 4 shoots under the chasing pressure.
First shoot, and a welcome-ish sight for Phil-Maillet. Now, he will have zeroed his rifle on lane number 1, Mike, so he's going to be on the same lane. How do the wind conditions change on lane 1, particularly here in Kontiolahti?
It's quite strange, and normally from lanes 30 all the way back to about 7 or 8, the wind today has been from the left. Because of the opening up here on his right shoulder, the wind spirals around, and it alters the flags lanes 1 to 7 and brings in a bit of right side wind influence.
No spare rounds. Breaks the rhythm, but not the success rate. 5 out of 5, and Phil-Maillet holds the field at bay. He didn't really push it out in terms of skiing, so he's got another lap of luxury coming up. Jacquelin might very quick to get the first round down.
Oh, so when he's on form, Jacquelin, or when he's aggressive and attacking, sometimes he gets them all, and 20 out of 20 isn't impossible.
France 1 and 2. Andersen of Norway goes out in 3rd place, losing just 1 position. Number 7 going through. Good start from Philip Norath of Germany.
Well, the 2 early Swedes both missing 1, Samuelson and Femling. You can't really afford, or it's a big setback missing this early. Kontiolahti, on the other hand, he's got 5. You mentioned Lukas Hofer, Patrick. It's quite interesting. Tiril Ekov has had an awful start to her season back in November, December and most of January. And similar to Lukas Hofer, he didn't have his skiing, he didn't have the magic in the rifle, but much better now. He could really be a threat for a podium today.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's good to see Axel Fjend Andersen some way down the order, but he cleared 5 out of 5. Plenty of penalty loops. The fastest of those to have missed one is Seb Samuelsson. He's up in 10th position, but he drops to 51 seconds behind. So that's going to make life tough for him.
Expecting Christensen, there he is from 24th to 14th. He was annoyed yesterday that he missed so many targets, and I think he'll be really moving up the ranking today. He started very well.
Now, quite a long delay between shot 4 and 5. What's going on here?
Yeah, I like that discipline. He's not quite got the flow we saw at the Olympics, so he's having now to really control that last shot. And when you can control your errors or step back, he had the time to do that. It's a wonderful place to be.
So Fillon-Maillet through the checkpoint as he starts the big climb back up to the stadium. Each lap at 2.5 kilometres, 12.5k the total distance in the pursuit. Jacquelin, Mike, now at 11. When he came out of the range, he was at 18. So he is the man trying to put pressure on the World Cup leader, and he needs to because he's still got a slim chance of winning the overall this year.
We've just seen the great Jacquelin. He's like a bull charging. He just charges. But then I think we'll see again today, like the relay. The first lap was great. The second lap was fantastic. And then he faded on the last one. He really is attacking now. And it's very early in the race to put that kind of force in.
Eric Lesser through in 6th place. Seb Samuelsson and Ponsiluoma on the charge for Sweden. Ponsiluoma goes through in 7. Norath just behind him. Pretty tight between 5 and 16. We've only got a matter of 7 or 8 seconds, so that's going to be some intense racing there. Of the big names, or those who started well, Bakken Mike has dropped down to 19th, having started 4th.
Isn't that incredible? So Bakken for me was one of my favourites today, but he can come back from an early miss, but 2 penalties. He got it all wrong, a little tense and over-panicked first time in.
So the 2 French, and the French have got a pretty good record here. Remember when we had the World Cup finals here, when it was a battle between Martin Fourcade and Johannes Tingesbø for the World Cup. Fourcade winning his last ever World Cup on these tracks. And so the French have had a lot of success. And of course, Marie Durand-Hebert, who was the star of the show back in 2015 and the World Championships.
She was indeed. I like again Fillon-Maillet, very easy into the base of the hill, and then he's just picking up his pace and his lovely smooth technique. He's aware now that his young teammate is on his case. Yeah,
much less upper body movement from Fillon-Maillet. And as you say, he's not so quick on the flats, but on the uphill, he's brilliantly efficient. Jacquelin, you said a bull in a china shop. I think he's a headless bull in a china shop. It just doesn't look so pretty, does it?
It doesn't. Fearsome. I was going to say phenomenal strength through his legs from his cycling history, his fantastic cycling history. He's got strong legs, but yeah, a lot of wasted energy compared to Fillon-Maillet.
Lukas Hofer there at the back of that group, still dancing his way up is Eric Lesser. Don't see so many athletes with the sort of dynamic dance that Raphael Poiret essentially introduced. I think they can all do it, but not many of them use it in the race situation.
No. Hey, what a nightmare for the coaches, isn't it? They've got one athlete, the fall of 5 shots on one side of the magnetic board and another on the backside, and then in the other hand they've got the same again. It's very easy to get mixed up.
Well, there's got to be some disadvantage of having a good, strong team. That is one of them. The French, their athletes are, well, they've got 1 and 2, and then we have to go back to Detieux, who's in 11th, and Just looking where Gigenar is. He was down in 24th when we last saw him. Gigenar yet to go through that checkpoint at 4.3.
The wind has fallen away, Patrick, and actually after Fillon-Maillet had his 5 shots and disappeared, the wind dropped off, and I think that's what caught many out, and you can see how dead the flags are, in fact, most of the way along the range. Jean-Paul looking thoughtful.
Yeah, second 5 in the prone position. Everything just slightly high, but central for Fillon-Maillet first time round. He shot slow, deliberately, but successfully. Jacquelin, who will shoot from right to left, will shoot fast. Not recklessly, but he has to do something.
Jacquelin took, Patrick, about 4 seconds to hook up his arm sling into the cuff on his left arm, but now he's away.
That's quick. That is quick. So the gap was 12 seconds. Have a look when he comes out. I think we could be down at 10. He's gone and dropped, I hope it's just his hat.
Well, that came off as he put, what was it?
Well, he's still got a hat on, so whether he started with 2 and he's shed up, absolutely not sure.
Well, Lukas Hofer missing his last shot. Kuhn missing, Anderson missing as well. And the great Ligrid from last year, and again he's missing. It must be so frustrating when he had the second best shooting scores last year.
Out goes Eric Lesser.
And little by little, Christensen, well, not little by little, leaps by leaps, Christensen from 24th to 14th, and now he finds himself in 4th place. That's a great day.
Yeah, it started well. He's only halfway there, but Christensen is he's a good standing shot. And the time margin, Mike, 46 seconds. When he started, at the start, he was what? He was 1:15, so he's gained 30 seconds on the race leaders. If he keeps that going, he's going to be on the podium, and it will just be a question of which position. With the 2 French up front, Mike, is the pressure, or do you think it's more relaxing to have a teammate chasing you?
I think it's more unsettling, and I thought that very thought as they exited. I thought, well, I'm sure Fillon-Maillet wouldn't mind anyone other than his teammate soon to be breathing on him. This, I thought, with a slow setup, I thought it might have unsettled Jacquelin getting down into position, but that is all attack, and there he is. I thought he'd catch up very quickly.
Yeah, that's 7.5 seconds he's gained already before the big climb.
So this will definitely unsettle Fillon-Maillet, and Fillon-Maillet will be asking himself questions. What's happened to my ski speed? Throughout all of the season, he would have been able to keep that 7 seconds at 7 and probably extend it by more. Yeah,
but on the climb, I think we know what's going to happen. And the gap will be larger than half a second at the top. And if it's not, we can assume that Jacquelin is working very, very hard. Fillon-Maillet, certainly the superior hill climber, and you can see it there. He's a lighter figure. He has slightly higher tempo. But for me, Mike, he keeps the upper body so still, and he gets a higher percentage of the work out of the legs.
Yeah, no wasted. That's the whole thing, isn't it? Just conserving energy when there's such a huge amount of energy expelled. Every time there you press down on each side and through all the upper body muscles as well.
Good battle for first and second, but we have a lot of contenders for the 3rd slot on the podium at the moment. Through goes Samuelsson, started 5. He's recovered well. Eric Lesser just dropping away a bit, but Lukas Hofer is holding his own. Philip Fjeld Anderson in 8 at the moment. That will do nicely.
Interesting long look back there from Pep Femling, just checking how far back it is, and it's what, 13 seconds back to Ligrid.
Just looking at the shooting times, Mike. Jacquelin 32 on that last shoot in the prone position, and Fillon-Maillet 32.9, the quickest. Jules Bernot 22, so 10 seconds given away by the race leaders, but all to make sure that the 5 targets go down. Jacquelin now looking very comfortable behind. This is where we may see a little difference.
And Bournot has missed 3 already, so it doesn't always go together, fast shooting and accurate shooting. Huge different contrast there in the head movement, as you mentioned earlier. Jacquelin, a huge amount of transfer of weight.
.8k gone. They're just over the halfway stage, and they still have 2 shoots to come, both in the stand position. And again, Fillon-Maillet just pulls a little bit clear. So if they come out of the last shoot together, Mike, that's going to be a fascinating encounter. Jacquelin will have to go for broke on the flat section and try and build himself a lead of 7-8 seconds before the climb.
And Fillon-Maillet would have figured that out this time out. So in the back of his mind, you'll think, OK, Jacquelin may be the ultimate fighter or contender on the track, but I can get him on this hill.
Lygrid in this group for Norway. Number 24, who we've picked up before, is Christiansen, who's going so well. That's a gain of 21 places for Christiansen. Lesser is still there. Samuelson at 49. I wonder if this group have given up the chase on the 2 French athletes.
Well, it feels that way, and it's a huge deficit, 48 seconds back to Christiansen. I don't think they will. They'll still think that the 2 Frenchmen may unsettle each other, and I think that may well be the case. Jacquelin will be exhausted coming in now to shoot his first stand.
Yeah, I think Lygrid is another athlete who's exhausted. He's just not been on form really at any stage this season. Simonade is still there, Mike. Nice to see him showing good form at the end of his career.
Yes, he's only missed 1. And I'll tell you what, Eric Lesser will be happy that he's only got 2 more journeys up that steep hill. He won't be doing it again ever in terms of his World Cup career.
So, Fillon-Maillet versus Jacquelin, number 1 and 2 in the overall World Cup standings. The yellow bib indicating the leader. Fillon-Maillet, 89% hit rate in the stand this year. Jacquelin at 76, and he comes out with 1 miss. This could make the difference. It will. It's going to be a lead of 150 metres for Fillon-Maillet at the start of the penultimate loop. And Jacquelin has to reconsider what he does, Mike. He's got a decent lead over the rest. He should be out in second. But does he try and chase that margin down, or does he hope that Fillon-Maillet makes a mistake?
I think that he has to chase that margin down, and if anybody can, Jacquelin can, but I admired him there for bravery. He went for the attack shooting, and it was so close. It could so easily have paid off.
Christiansen, Lesser, Samuelson is there, Johannes Kern, who had another fabulous race yesterday, finishing 3rd in the sprint event. First to strike, Felix Leitner, a man who gained some 30 places in the Olympic pursuit. Christiansen with 4 out of 4. He makes it 5 out of 5. Lukas Hoffer's gone clear. Italy have something to cheer here, as they did in the women's relay at the start of this week. So the Italians finishing the season on a high. Eric Lesser still in contention. Wouldn't it be great if he got a podium finish before the end of his career?
Oh, come on, Eric. That is brilliant. 15 out of 15. And what about Lukas Hoffer? He said he was so disappointed to go back to those bad old habits of missing the last shot. He said, I'll put that right tomorrow.
We'll find out in roughly 6 minutes' time. The first lap of 2.5k plus the shoot took 6 minutes 15. So Eric Lesser will be back. And Lukas Hoffer will be back in roughly 5 minutes from now.
I think, Patrick, this is what's made Fillon-Maillet so untouchable this season. When you can anchor the stand in a fashion like that, will he be able to do it the second time? I'm sure he can. But he's got absolute control, like Martin Fourcade for most of his career when it came to the vital stand shooting aspect.
Yeah, he's had 2 clear shoots in the pursuit so far this season. Seldom misses more than 2, but he's on 15 out of 15 at the moment. He went from silver to gold medal position in the Olympics by hitting 20 out of 20. And he's done it often enough to believe that it's going to happen every time. Through he goes. Yes. What will the margin be? When he came out of the range, he had a lead of 19.3.
Well, look at the body language now from Jacqueline. He's tried to close this down. And coming off the penalty loop, that's so annoying, a penalty loop. You're a little tired going on to the next 2.5 kilometres, so no real change. I think when we heard Fillon-Maillet's breathing at the mic trackside, Fillon-Maillet has definitely pushed the effort higher just to keep Jacqueline at bay.
Christiansen, 46. He's shaken off a few of the challengers, but Lukas Hoffer is there. That would be an interesting ski race if they come out of the last chute together. Eric Lesser, there's no doubt that he's hungry, Mike. Once he announced his retirement, he seems to have got a new lease of life. And then Lygrid needs a good race more than anyone else.
He does. You just feel the pain for Lygrid and wondering what's caused the loss in terms of shooting. But it's certainly better today with missing only 1 out of 15.
So the bulk of the leaders through the 8.5 kilometre stage. Stolder of Switzerland looking good in 12th position at the moment, just ahead of Ponsaloma. Ponsaloma 2 misses. Seb Samuelson's missed 3, really shot himself out of contention, now at 1:40 behind. And here is your race leader, Fillon-Maillet, trying to do the double, trying to win his 7th World Cup of the season. And it is the pursuit where he has been so successful. He won in Hogfelsen, he won in Annecy, he won in Oberhof, he won in Ruhpolding, he won in Beijing at the Olympic Games. And odds are on that he's going to win again here in Kontiolahti.
Quite amazing. So Fillon-Maillet, you could argue he could afford 1 target missed. And just hoping that, and even if Jacqueline hits all 5, he can still go out clear. But look at Jacqueline. I think we alluded to the fact he goes out like a bull, and then he just burns up the candles. Too much effort in the early part of the race.
Yeah, bull to ragdoll, I think, today. He's, he's a brilliant skier, but he's just not looking his best. And maybe pacing is the key. He's lost 8 seconds from the range on Fillon-Maillet, who's put himself in the beautiful position of being able to miss a target and still know that he will be first out of the range. Hoffer, Christiansen, Lesser and Lygrid are fighting it out for 3rd position. And actually, Mike, with the state that Jacqueline is in at the moment, he may well miss on that last shoot, so he might miss out on 2nd place.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You're so exhausted, staggering his way to the range now. Jacqueline, he might try and go for the attacking rapid fire. Can he get his breathing under control? That is a worry.
Philip Fjeld-Andersen, who was 2nd in the sprint yesterday. I've got written on my notes, Mike, 3 pursuits, and on each occasion he's lost position. So again, dropping down the order when it comes to the head-to-head.
He's very young to World Cup racing, isn't he? So the least experience in that chasing pack.
Fillon-Maillet will know that he's got just about 30 seconds to play with. So does he shoot fast and pay any penalties, or does he take his time and hit the targets? I think we're probably looking at a 26 second shoot, and odds are on that all 5 will fall. If the first misses, the tension will rise.
He was lucky with the 3rd shot. It was high by half a hit, but it put the target down.
Now, a decision time for Jacqueline. He's seen 1 target left standing. If he shoots fast enough, he could come out on the heels of his teammate. but it has to be fast. Oh, there's the first miss. Now he has to change his mindset and think about defending second position. He'll do that, I think. A penalty to pay. He will not catch his teammate. Phil Maillet is out, and he's had a look to his right, and he will have assessed from the angle of his teammate that Jacquelin is on the penalty loop as well. He might have heard the miss, actually. He probably did as he was going round. Where's your money, Mike, for third place?
I'm hoping for Lesser. He's taking it careful, but Christensen looks so dynamic to me.
Hoffer's gone clear. Christensen's gone clear. We have a ski race on. Lesser has gone clear. Lygrade has missed his opportunity to fight for third, but we have a three-way fight for the podium, and Lesser agonisingly some 10-11 metres off fourth place at the moment. Is this what he signed up for? He's going to enjoy this.
That's quite incredible. So many there. Going 5 out of 5 last time in. We don't normally see as many as that in the top bracket of the race. Shooting perfect 5.
2 of the top 5 have the perfect score at the moment. Lygrade looks to his right to make sure that he doesn't collide with Philip Fjeld Andersen, who's back on the penalty loop. No chance of improving his position. Lygrade with 2 misses today. Jacquelin had 2 penalty loops as well, so he's done well to hold on to second spot.
Well, that penalty loop has all of a sudden become very, very busy. It's gone crazy on that penalty loop.
Mike, Hoffer and Christensen in third and fourth. Hoffer started a decent distance ahead of Christensen, so I'm wondering whether he might have more in reserve for this last 2,500.
I think he might do. And Hoffer, we mentioned earlier that he's had a very poor standard of ski speed this season prior to now, but we saw it in the relay, we saw it yesterday. His performance is on the up and up and up, and I think that's going to play a little into Lukas Hoffer's advantage.
Well, he's got an easy ski to the finish, has Phil Maillet. He goes from strength to strength, another 60 points coming his way. He started today on 6.96, almost at 160 points clear in the World Cup standings. And he's going to pick up another 6-point advantage at least.
Well, do you know what I'm beginning to think, Patrick? I'm beginning to think that Jacquelin in second place could well be passed by Lukas Hoffer and Christensen. Well, there already it's Hoffer going ahead.
Well, that's a rapid ski from Hoffer, and last time we saw Jacquelin up the climb, Mike, he did not have a lot to give. Christensen, wearing 24, has got to be a little careful here. He doesn't want to get stuck behind the Frenchman because Hoffer will take advantage. But I think a lot of people would be very, very happy if Hoffer manages to get himself into the top 3. He's only had 2 wins in his career.
And Eric Lesser, this is inspired from Eric Lesser and hitting his 20 out of 20 just like Christensen.
Jacquelin, Mike, he's a good tactician. As you mentioned, he's done a lot of bike riding and bike racing in his time, so he's well aware of how to win a sprint. We've seen that when he's been up against Johannes Tingis Bø, particularly in Antolz at the World Championship. So things look good on that front, but I guess it's a question of what reserves he has. I think it looks as though it's going to be Jacquelin versus Hoffer for that third spot.
And Hoffer knows full well the tactics and the clever mind that Jacquelin has when it comes to a sprint, so Hoffer will be trying to break him, I think, on the steep climb.
It's all a little bit quiet out on the tracks as Bakken tucks in behind Germany's, it was Austria's Felix Leitner up there as well, just seeing how Leitner's doing. He was going great guns at one stage. Leitner missing on the stand. He's now missed 3, so he's gone through in 17th place. This man is going to wrap it up. Win number 7 for the season. It's win number 15 for his career. He is setting out where Martin Fourcade left off. But this is the race for the final, for the second and third positions. They're not going to catch Phil Maillet. This could be the decisive hill. Who's got something to give to move up into third? Eric Lesser moves out wide to find a bit of clean snow. Hoffer ups the tempo. Jacquelin starts to rock and roll from side to side. And Christensen, Mike, doesn't look as though he's got that much fight at the back.
Christensen had put so much pace into his laps 1, 2 and 3. Christensen now is all but finished, but Eric Lesser, so happy to see Eric Lesser for the last time up this climb ever and moving into second place.
Yeah, brilliant run by Lesser so far. Only 2 wins in his career. He's had, 11 podiums or so in the World Cup. He could be adding to that today. He's been close this season. He had some good form in Ruhpolding, got 6th place in the sprint and the pursuit there. But this is one he's going to remember if he can pull off second place. Will it be Lesser? Will it be Hoffer? They've broken away from Jacquelin and they've broken away from Christensen. So they're both guaranteed a slot on the podium. What's the perfect tactic here?
Well, Lukas Hoffer, he just has to wait and wait for the home straight, but Eric Lesser, for me, has got the desire. He really has pushed hard on this last lap, and he looks like he has something left. Yeah, Lesser injecting a little bit of speed. Hoffer starting to lose his balance, indicating that fatigue. I'm not sure we'll see too much fight from the Italian. 150 metres to go. Phil-Maillet is coming up to the line now. He's going to take the honours here in Kontiolahti. Second successive victory for him. The action, though, is behind him, and he's not watching. It's Lesser who still has it. Hoffer again misplaces the pole. Beaten on this occasion, but he takes third, and Eric Lesser, in one of his final races, gets a second place. He's on the podium. A fantastic payday for him to send him into biathlon retirement, and he beats Lukas Hoffer, who also gets his first podium of the season. Jacquelin was there, Mike. 2 penalties it cost him in the end, and I wonder whether that excess speed that he put in on the second lap to catch Phil-Maillet, whether that actually ended up being his downfall. Well, I think it is. We just so much attack and attack and attack early on for Jacquelin. At this stage of the season, after a busy season, it's difficult to overcome those surges in pace, and he really suffered on the last lap. Good gains by the Norwegians, 24-5 for Christensen, 22-6 for Ligrade, but missing out on the podium this time round, and Norway in 7 and 8 as well, with Bakken and Philipfjeld Andersen, and number 20 over the line, that is Roman Rees, and Benedict Doll on the right of your screen. Did he get the better of Detieux? I'm not quite sure he did, but Johannes Kern, Mike, dropping all the way down to 13th, having started third. Oh, and only missing 4. His ski speed looked pretty good yesterday, so a very tired Johannes Kern. Felix Leitner couldn't produce the magic of the Olympic Games when he went all the way from 46 up to 10, gaining 36 places. 15 for Switzerland is Stalder, 144. In the end, after some really good shooting early on, only 2 athletes shooting clear, Lesser and Christensen. Quite incredible, and this now puts the Phil-Maillet up with the greats of pursuit racing. Ole Einar won 5 in one racing season, but Martin Fourcade bettered that to 6. So now Phil-Maillet has won 5 pursuit competitions in a season. It's quite outstanding. Yeah, that particular trophy is secured with the victory today. We have one more pursuit still to come, and that will be in the Oslo Stadium, which I can tell you is in very, very good condition at the moment. So looking forward to some racing there. In 2 weeks' time, we head to Otterpa next. Never troubled, really, was he, Mike? I think many would have been flustered when Jacquelin appeared on their heels, but Phil-Maillet held his nerve, outshot his teammate in the next shoot, and then was totally in control. Just incredible the discipline that Phil-Maillet has brought to his shooting this season, the absolute control and sticking to his own plan, not letting that fear of Jacquelin having caught up so much time, didn't let it alter his performance whatsoever or alter his thinking at all. Yeah, Ranta celebrating a gain of 21 places, and so he should. That's a good effort, and he shot 19 out of 20, which is what helped him make the gains. And actually, he went with Leif Nordgren of USA, who went from 52 to 39, also shooting 19 out of 20. And Doherty, a much better day, 36 to 32, but the best of the Americans. Jake Brown only missing one, 27th up to 22.
Yeah, Burkhalter, just coming through late, of Switzerland, actually shot 20 out of 20, 46 to 25. A gain of 21 places. I think that is the best today. Christiansen, probably the most impressive. 24 to 5 is tough going. He's done well and gained a total of 45 seconds on Phil Maillet, the race winner.
And Christiansen, it looked at one point, didn't it, that he could make the podium, but when he got to the steepest of hills with only, 1.1 kilometre to go, he just couldn't keep the pace up that huge climb.
Yeah, it looked to me, Mike, to be a case of who wanted it most. And Eric Lesser definitely wanted it. Lukas Hofer, after the disappointment yesterday, he definitely wanted it. I think Christiansen didn't look as though he had the fight in him.
I'm so happy for Eric Lesser. That puts him now with 2 World Cup victories and 4 times in second place, and one of them, those second places, was at the Olympic Games in Sochi.
There he
nice
is.
way for Eric to end his career. I'm so happy for him, and I think the world of biathlon will be delighted with what he's achieved to date.
Ermits of Estonia, 6 misses. That makes a long day. Remember, each miss incurs a penalty of 150 metres, so 900 extra metres. Not what you need at this stage of the season. Lemmerer of Austria, Ozaki there for Japan, 3 misses today. 3 athletes in the end hitting 20 out of 20, and this looks like Jules Benoit.
How many? He missed 6. It's quite interesting looking at the men's shooting score. The conditions, I think, were slightly kinder actually for the men than they were for the women. There's a Lukas Hofer, that he'll be happy with the start. But the men take, in my opinion, just a little bit more risk. The women are much more clever in their approach and a little calmer on the range, but the men are just trying to shoot a little faster and more aggressively. There were 8 clear 20 out of 20 shots in the women's race earlier.
That was Gilles Pamel going over to congratulate Luki Hofer. Yeah, he looked delighted with that top spot. Hofer didn't quite have the sprint, but he'd worked well. And actually, you have to give Eric Lesser credit, Mike, because he was, 12 metres down on Christiansen coming out of the range?
Oh, Eric was incredible. The German skis again are running beautifully, as we saw in the women's race, and you can pick up some ground on the descent from the stadium.
So anything in particular you're looking forward to next weekend in Otepää? It's a short programme of racing. But
yes,
the men, what they're doing, the 10-kilometre sprint and then a mass start. So we've still got 2 mass starts to come this year.
Oh, it's a busy, and 15 kilometres the mass start for the men. It's a tough programme. Yes, sprint for the men, mass start, and then on the Sunday in Otepää, it's the mixed relays, and that's going to be interesting. It's going to be the men first and the women second, and then the single mixed relay after that.
So Phil Maillet, 32.55, gets another 60 points. He's number 1 in the overall. He's number 1 in the sprint standings. He's number 1 in the pursuit standings. He's number 2 in the mass start at the moment, but with 2 mass starts to go, he might put that to right. The only trophy that he can't win this year is the individual, where he finished down in 8th place. That seems to be his Achilles heel at the moment. But he's on sensational form, and he won today with consummate ease, a time of 32.55. Eric Lesser starting down in 12th position. Didn't get to race much in Beijing. He raced the individual, but had real problems in the standing position in the wind. Didn't like it at all, and finished 67th. So he didn't get a run out in the pursuit. But today he did. He started in 12th position, worked his way all the way up to 2, hitting 20 out of 20. Well, that's it from Kontiolahti for the weekend. As we mentioned, we head to Otepää in Estonia for the next round of racing. First time ever the World Cup goes there, so it should be a big occasion. They've got permission to get 6,000 fans in. Let's have a chat with the winner.
Your first globe is the Pursuit Globe. What a fantastic day.
That's officially perfect. That's very, very great. Again, a victory in Pursuit. It's very good because it was very hard on the ski. My shape is not so good that compare with Emilien and some other, but I know I must to be the best on the shooting range, and yeah, that's very good. Maybe a little bit some stress on the last mistake because I don't know how Emilien will shooting, but them it's very good.
Congratulations.
Thank
Enjoy
you very
it.
much.
So his first Crystal Globe, and
Biathlon johtaa kokonaismaailmankappia pisteen 756, Evelyn Jacquelin toisena 582 pistettä. Ja Jacquelin ja siinä on sitten kolmantena Sebastian Samuelson. Tero Seppälä tällä hetkellä kokonaismaailmankapissa siellä 13 nousee. Siellä hieman ylöspäin pisteen 371.
Tu continues comme ça, je pense que à la fin où t'es pas, ça peut être super. Attends, et après tu m'aides à finir 2, s'il te plaît. D'accord. Tu m'aides à finir 2.
ceremony of the BMW Welcome Biathlon ceremony, men's pursuit competition. Kolmas third, representing Italy, Lukas. Voittaja, winner today, representing from Kontiolahti.
Thank you.